back a little bit, and we're ready to go. Oops. Cool. Back a little bit more. Here we are. Stop already. Okay, here we are. Hello. Okay. Okay. YouTube, when you get a chance, there's no one up yet, but let me just, that looks very bright from where I'm sitting. Okay. Lighting seems to be okay for, hey, Elizabeth. I sent that video you sent me off to a friend, a mutual friend of Lena's as well. I know she's going to enjoy seeing it. Oh my goodness. So, oh, YouTube looks very, very bright. No one's there yet. So, hey, Gail. Facebook looks fine lighting wise. And I'm wondering how everyone is sleeping. How is everybody sleeping these days? Anybody? Hi, Anna Maria. How's the lighting? Because where I'm sitting, it's total glare. But yeah. Oh dear. Okay, Elizabeth. Alrighty. It's a little bright. Okay, I thought so. I'm gonna dim it down a bit. Let me just see. Here we go. How's that? Is that better or is that better? Is that better? Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. You're finally getting a good night's sleep. You're getting good sleep, Dee. Michelle's saying not well. Hi, Key. Okay, good. Hey, Kristen. I have not slept in months, and I'm a person who sleeps the minute I hit the pillow, I'm out. Hey, Pam. Oh, yay. Okay, well, I was going to talk about the orange selenite. No, not sleeping well either. I never in my life, and I mean, probably since the end of September. I mean, I'm lucky if I get 3-4 hours and I'm up. And that is my whole life, never been like that. And it's nothing hormonal, it's nothing crazy like that. I'm not waking up, it's just can't sleep. I just can't even fall asleep, never mind stay asleep. It's crazy. And I was going to say that a young woman came in the store a couple weeks ago, and her son was having night terrors. Here's the deal. I've seen now, this is the third round of night terrors in the 16 years I've been in business, where it lasts like a month, but a lot of kids coming through. But they're usually in that 5, 6, 7 range, kindergarten, preschool, first grade, it's a lot for them to process, and it comes out that way where, the night terrors. And this is where kids just wake up screaming and crying hysterically, and they can't be comforted. And it takes a long time to get them back down. So, but these kids are under 2. So she came back in the store a couple of days ago, because, she gave me orange selenite. She says it worked like a charm, but I was talking to the daycare teacher, and she said, my God, my son's not sleeping either. Same thing, night terrors, also not even 2 years old. And she says, and there's a bunch of kids as well. So she was coming back in to buy more orange selenite. Something about orange selenite, you just slip in your pillow and it knocks you out. It lets you have dreamless sleep, just calm sleep. Lots of energy. Yeah, can't get to sleep, can't shut it off. It's amazing. But the daycare operator was saying it's like an epidemic with these very young kids and the night terrors. So always want to watch out for when things come in like in mass. So there's a group of a situation or that you're like, what's going on? Hey, Billy Joe. Thank you. Yep, if they're orange selenite, they're sticks. It's not the same as the white selenite. You'll get it confused. White selenite is wonderful, but the orange selenite, it was quite an accident where I found it. I had orange selenite hearts, and I guess someone must have dropped one or something, and it had a crack in it. And someone brought it to my attention. They're like, "Oh, this one has a crack." I'm like, "Okay, well, give it to me because I don't sell broken things in my store." And I was like, "I'll bring it upstairs. I'll keep it." Hey, Jennifer. And I went upstairs and I actually fell asleep holding the orange selenite. And I tend to dream vividly, technicolor, very vivid. And that night was just a dreamless sleep, a wonderful, calm, restful sleep. I thought, huh, all right, let me test this out. And a couple of people, same thing, not sleeping well, dreams, not restful. Try this. Oh my God, out like a light. And then a very dear patron slash friend came in. Her husband, who I also know, um, his mother had died suddenly. Like he had no time to say goodbye. They were very, very close. It's a terrible thing. And he was absolutely just heartbroken and miserable and was waking up with horrific nightmares. And she goes, Laura, is there anything to stop the nightmares? I'm like, you know what? Give this a try. I said, take the orange selenite, put it in his pillowcase, see what happens. And sure enough, they stopped. She's like, oh my God, it was like magic. And it was because it's awful. Anyway, and since then, I mean, it's not even a property of orange selenite. If you look up orange selenite, and when you look up a stone, look up metaphysical sodalite, metaphysical tiger's eye, metaphysical, and you'll pull up all the metaphysical qualities of the stone. If you don't do that, you're going to pull up all the geological, properties. And while that's very interesting, it's not what you're looking for. If you want the metaphysical properties of a stone, just metaphysical orange selenite. But there's nothing about sleeping. It's all about, but it is an orange stone, so it is about the solar plexus. Oh, that's not true because that's yellow, isn't it? Orange. That's about the the sacral orange. Huh. I don't know. That's the lifeblood. That's the vitality is the sacral. What makes you go? I don't know. All I know is it works. I don't even care how it works. I'm one of those people like I don't care. I don't care why it tastes good. It tastes good. I don't care why it works. It works. I'm like that. I don't want to know. Just don't even tell me. Just it works. Hey Chase. Hey Karen. Yeah. So that's what's going on. The sleeplessness, night terrors for children. Good God, a lot of death. A lot of death. I'm almost afraid to open Facebook some days because it's just heart wrenching. A lot of sickness, a lot of severe, a lot of really sick people suffering, a lot of new diagnoses, and it's not good. I hate to, it feels like I'm the Grim Reaper, but here, as I said to guys, it's like when people come for readings, it's hardly ever that they come in like, hey, Laura, everything is going so good. Like everything is so great. Let's do a few cards. Let's see how it's going to keep going like this. They come in with problems. And where I tend to, my ears really perk up is when I hear patterns or, again, when I do like, let's say 15 readings in a day, the $5 little quick ones, but of those 15, 10 are of a theme, So when I hear themes and repetitive themes, that always gets gets me thinking, okay, something's going on. Something's not right. And something's not right. Yeah, messages. The death is horrible. Hey, Susan. Hey, Janice. I think, oh, Anna Maria, I'm selling so many Bridget crosses because we're coming up on Bridget's holiday, her Sabbath, excuse me. Imbolc is celebration that belongs to Bridget, the goddess breed. And so, yes, I've been selling so many of those. It's nice. And it is great. Thank you. And Anna Maria made some beautiful Bridget's crosses from reeds that actually grow on her property. So they're just wonderful to have in the store. I love handmade spiritual items, and it's always a thrill to have something that nobody else has because they're handmade and they're unique to the people of Talisman. So I do like that, and always deeply grateful to my crafters who pull these wonderful items together for the shop. So that's always great. I was so happy Chris Penzak was in the shop, and I have holy stones that I have someone in Bracklesham Bay, England, who handpicks them for me, and they're the oldest known shamanic tool. I have them on cords, and they're really cool. They really are. And He says, I have not seen anything like this outside of England. I've never seen a shop. So that's the stuff I want to do and have. I cast a wide net. I do celebrate universal spirituality, so it's not strictly a witchcraft store. I'm always clear about that. It's a mystical shop for sure. I'm a practicing witch, but I appreciate all spiritualities. I love theology since I was a little girl, and what do you believe and how do you see God, or you know, how do you pray? I've always found that fascinating since I was a child. That's amazed me. So okay, okay. So Janice, I'm just telling you this because people on YouTube can't see the comments here. But Janice is saying was just mentioning today that this week has been nothing but new illnesses, worsening diagnoses, and people passing. And Sue is saying, yes, yes, the goddess Bridget is the Saint Bridget of Ireland. Yes, they what the Catholic Church could not destroy, they canonized, they incorporated. The only deity they could not do that with was when they went into Mexico. They could not destroy or deify Santa Marta or Saint Death. Saint Death is everywhere. You see her statues and her shrines, and they were aghast at this skeletal figure dressed in robes with the flowers and the candles, and they did their best to destroy her. They couldn't create a demon out of her. They couldn't find a way to incorporate her into Catholic doctrine because there was never a Saint Bridget. There was the goddess Brid, Brid, and she was the after Danu of Ireland, and they couldn't destroy her. So they built cathedrals on her shrines. They incorporated her wells into the mythology and the lore of the Catholic Church. They just basically took her over, changed her name, and there you go, Saint Bridget. But there was never an individual named Bridget. So, anywho, yeah, that's how that goes. They say that Christianity was not spread by the love of certainly Jesus, how Jesus would have wanted to spread his message, which would have been with kindness, love, and healing, and acts of good, and feed the poor, and take care of the hungry, and house the homeless, that sort of thing. You would think would be the way we would spread the news of a kind and good teacher of the Jewish persuasion. Well, Christianity was spread by the sword, believe or die. And wow. Anyways, I don't even want to go there because I'm not trying to make anybody angry tonight. I love the fact that I'm preaching to the choir, but and I'm not anti-Catholic. It's just not that. It's just the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. You know, I think if you've got a good product, you have to force people to use it. It's kind of how I felt about the vaccine. If you got a good product, people will line up to buy it. The fact that doctors and PAs and nurses were looking at it kind of cross-eyed is when I was like, might be something going on here. It's so great, then why don't doctors want to take it? Why don't nurses want to take it? But that's just my take on it. I'm an observationalist. So, and they were whispering about heart issues and enlarged hearts and blood clots, and now we're seeing more and more stories about that. So it's interesting how things have evolved. What do we have here? Okay. Register in the back of the history of it, Irish history. She gave all her food away, and a priest, what are you doing? She said, but they're starving. Yep, truth is truth. Listen, the Catholic Church didn't become one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest, religious entity on the planet because they were giving away their money. Now, there's a great meme that showed the Queen of England talking about taking care of the poor and the Pope saying, take care of the poor, while both are sitting on golden thrones. Melt those thrones down, and guess what? You could probably feed a lot of the world's poor. So, it's interesting to hear people preach poverty from a golden throne. Both of them. It's just the hypocrisy is just ah. And that's my thing. It's not even. It's the hypocrisy of things that I lose my goddamn mind. I lose my mind, and you guys know it because you see my posts. I'm losing my goddamn mind. Can you cure yourself from illness via holistic medicine? And do you know anyone in holistic medicine? Hey, Andrew, how are you? I'm hearing good things about a Dr. Valentine out of Monroe. I hear great things, actually. I had a friend whose husband actually had symptoms of dementia after getting COVID, long COVID. Couldn't speak, couldn't put thought bad. It was just bad. Very concerned about that being permanent. And Dr. Valentine, I can message me, Chase, under message me, and I'll get that name for you. Okay, if that's what you're looking for. Can you? It depends on the illness. Um, can you cure yourself of cancer holistically? I don't know. I don't know. I know with holistic health, the idea is prevention. I'm naturopathic prevention. Eating right, not ingesting toxins, not smoking, not drinking, not obviously drugging, keeping your system as pure as possible. Um, it's preventative. And my grandmother used to call it food pharmacology, and that's a real term. But the idea of you are what you eat, you are what you take in. So, but these days there's so many hidden ingredients, things that are sold as being organic, vegetables that are not organic. What the FDA calls organic and what I would call organic, two very different organics. Um, if you're growing something in chemicals, but you're just not spraying chemicals on it, there's still chemicals, right? Back when I had dairy goats, I was quietly selling, unpasteurized milk from my goats that, and we drank it for years. Um, I was very careful. I boiled everything. Everything was clean. I kept it refrigerated. Got it right into the refrigerated store. But it was unpasteurized. It was pure. And my goats ate pellets and they ate hay and they ate what they foraged for. They were outside out of their corral every day. Free ranging. Same thing for my chickens. They free range. But anyways, yeah, that's it depends on the illness. It depends on how far gone it is. It depends on a lot of things in terms of if you can cure yourself holistically. I do have a couple of good websites too, and I'll be happy to share those with you as well, Chase. So just and I will tell you guys, for me, um, Herbal Legacy. I get their newsletters, Herbal Legacy, and earthclinic.com is my very favorite. Earthclinic.com. So Tim is saying nicotine is organic, but it's extremely powerful poison. It is, but the other thing, Tim, and all my family, I will tell you, died of smoking related cancers. My parents, my grandparents, um, whether it was COPD, lung cancer, my mother, cancer of the head and neck, but it was all smoking related. And I was at first, if you choose to smoke, right? Then I guess this is how it happens. Hi, Peggy. You chose your poison. But what I didn't know, and I know now, is that the government allows cigarette manufacturers to put in chemicals to make nicotine, which is already as addictive as heroin, even more addictive. Now that's not fair. All right. It is so hard to quit smoking for that reason. There's actually chemical additives. So if you buy Indian tobacco, you're getting pure tobacco. It comes in a can. And I was selling tobacco. I've got to order more. I get these huge garbage bags full of leaf cuttings. There's actually a tobacco farm in Connecticut, and I buy the ends and what they can't use for cigars. And so it's pure tobacco, and that's for offerings, Native American offerings to the land. You don't even burn it; you just leave it. I usually tell people to find a flat boulder on their property and leave tobacco as an offering. you want to make peace with the spirits of the land, if the land itself has been restful, sometimes just going out and letting them know that you mean no harm, that you're not going to harm the land, that you honor the land. And that means you're not going to put down chemical fertilizers or pesticides. That means you're not going to be clear cutting the brush. That means you're going to be taking care of the animals and not slaughtering them. That's all part of that promise. But that you're going to live in harmony with nature. But you will find that if you do that, you'll see a change in the energy of the property. It's really valid. They're watching. Oh no, my grandmother told me that's what they recommended was the black coffee and cigarette diet. You lose a few pounds, black coffee and cigarettes. And I was a model, and so all the models smoked. I just never did. I think it's gross. I can't stand even watching someone smoke. I think it's disgusting. Um, Growing up with parents who smoked, and the smell, the look, it's just and that the expense. I don't know why anybody would spend that $12. I think it is for a pack of cigarettes, and yet they do. And. But no, I grew up with people who were chain smoking, and I always stayed upwind and just, ugh. My brother had asthma, and you would think then, stop smoking. But nope. Yep, Dee is talking about sugar. Yep, sugar's in everything. Sugar and corn syrup. Faith is saying that growing up, the doctor would come to the house. Yeah. I vaguely remember milk coming to the door, glass bottles of milk. That is way back. That's a really young child memory. That's like yeah. But it's $15 for a pack. Okay. Oh my God. And Tim is saying that he's a master gardener and attested careful attention to organic inputs as a powerful cure for your land and yourself. Absolutely. Well, I'm an avid gardener. I actually, one of my businesses was a landscaping business. I was a freelance garden writer and came to witchcraft. One of the roads in was through gardening. I was designing herb gardens for people, and medicinal herb gardens and medieval herb gardens, and just love not gardens, all these wonderful gardens. And then I picked up a book by oh, Capperlin's Herb Farm, Adele Simmons. And I've talked about this before, so this isn't. And it just the magical properties of herbs, and I was just like, of course they're magical. Of course they are. The trees are magical, and the plants are magical, and the grass, and you ground yourself when you're got your hands in the earth and the sun on your back and the bees are around you, and I'm as you know, I posted, I'm longing for a beehive, so I'm really hoping I'm going to add one of those to our little backyard. I was thinking of getting some little silky chickens now that my bunny has died, but I think I'm going to hold off on the chickens because we do have a very large raccoon that wanders through, a very large skunk. He's a big boy. Watched him grow up. He's big. And a groundhog that makes it very hard to grow vegetables. Almost impossible, actually. He's a big guy, too. And so I've seen more wildlife in this little city garden. We had a bear right down the road on Minerva, a baby bear in the green. And Derby is a city, a very, very city. And there was a bear, hawks, vultures, crazy, just a crazy amount of wildlife that comes wandering through. But the skunk is just big skunk. My goodness. The grocery store food is very questionable, Chase. Oh, you're fine. Looking at people with their comments. Um, I tell you something, Chase. I think I posted something on Facebook, and watch my posts. But I had a friend when I belonged to the Fairfield County Horticultural Society. I was first vice president. I was program chair, belonged there for quite a long time. And she asked me to come over. She lived on the river in Westport, and she said, "I want to show you my pot garden." I have oh my God, it sounds really exciting, but it was all her gardens. It was in pots on her very huge deck. The length of the house was a massive house, and very contemporary. And I'm thinking, oh, how cute, pot garden. That's sweet. Oh my God, no, 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 no. She had trees, she had peppers, she had tomatoes, she had you name it. She had um, the railing boxes full of like salad greens, and you would not believe how much you can do in container gardenings, and fantastic. And of course, she had an amazing greenhouse attached to her property. They were wonderful. Annabelle Schwartz, I'll never forget. Her youngest son had died coming home from college. And she told me this story. She was probably the sweetest woman. I can't even tell you. She was dear. She was just a dear heart, and she was destroyed. It was her youngest son. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and he was in that car accident and passed away. And she said she fell almost into a catatonic stupor after he died. She said she couldn't eat, she couldn't drink, she just was catatonic. And she said, our house burned down. The house burned down. She goes, and I stood there, and luckily no one was hurt, but the house burned down. And she was looking back on it, I realized that was my son waking me up, because I stood there and I'm looking at just the rubble that was my home. And I had to choose, my husband was like, what do you want to do? And we rebuilt the house. We rebuilt it for us. And they built this wonderfully contemporary, clean. I remember she had marble floors. I thought they were wonderful. She had marble through her whole, but they did it just not for resale, not for grandchildren, not for they built this house, they rebuilt for them. And then she put this greenhouse, and her husband asked her what she wanted to do, and she wanted to sell these greenhouses. And to this day, this company still exists, and they donate greenhouses to schools and prisons in his name. They're always made through her son's name, and and she would go, and they would have just wonderful teaching people how to grow plants. So the long story here, this long story long, Chase, is don't be surprised. You can grow things in pots beautifully, potatoes, all kinds of things in barrels. So just because you have a garden per se, if you've got even a stoop or a landing or a porch, you can garden. You can grow stuff. And in many cases, it grows better in pots. All right? Yeah, Tim is saying be careful with chickens. I actually have chickens in Shelton, and something got in and ate. We have two left, let's put it that way. And someone else I know, my friend Joan, was something got her chickens, and she is down to two. But now that I have no dogs, I was thinking of the little silkies, just to scratch around in the grass and eat grubs and ticks and what have you, because even those in this little backyard garden that I have. Um, yeah, the grow light, you can do that inside. Sugar addiction's bad. Yeah, I don't crave it anymore. I don't. I used to crave sugar and chocolate, but I really don't. Or salt. Crazy. Meat though, I found myself craving steak and meat, chicken, like, but meat, not just like chicken patties or like raw, roast chicken, roast beef. Just yeah, that'd be an iron thing. What are you doing, Cat? Hey, what are you doing? Hmm? What are you looking for? Hmm? Cat's half as big as the couch. This cat's massive. Have you seen my cat, guys? I think the meat. Thank you, Sue. Thank you for a cat. Just meat. Very cheese. It made cheese on the meat. You know what I mean? But just like don't interrupt my meat. Weird. And I think it is iron. I really do. You want to come here? Want to come say hi? Want to say hi? He's such a quiet cat. Let me see. They see everybody else, but they don't see you. Come on. You're such a big boy. This is hello. Say hi. Say hi. See how big? This is Mr. Keekers. is, I guess, Norwegian forest cat. Needs to get pork chops. Yeah. Aw, thank you. Okay, good. Doesn't know what to think. Thank you. He is a great cat. It's just dear. Go back up there. Go ahead. It's a lot. I had a silver shaded Persian. I love long haired cats. I have a Himalayan. He's a big long haired cat, and they come with special challenges. I don't think I would ever want a Maine Coon. Um, thank you. He is a big beast. He really is. He shits like a dog, folks. He's got a really big litter box. A small child could play in it as a sandbox. Just something to think about when you're thinking of those really big cats. It's big cats are big. It's not pretty. You can put it that way. So I'm sorry, I'm not being mean to you either. But the other thing is they have a hard time cleaning themselves. That can also be a special challenge. I usually get him shaved twice a month because he has a hard time, not twice a month, twice a year, because they have a hard time keeping themselves clean. And when they've got long hair, that includes their back end. So it's a lot. It's one of those things that looks really fun, and then you have one, you're like, wow, that is a lot of work. You are special. Riley's a big cat. Yes, he is, Faith. He's a short hair cat. And the other thing is, since I got him as a rescue, I did him as a kitten. Now, my buddy loved being brushed. My beautiful, oh, I know, you're so pretty. I'm not comparing you. I'm sorry. But Buddy was a Persian, but he was smaller. He was a square boned, but he didn't even have that huge frame. And he didn't mind me brushing him. This guy doesn't always like it. In fact, I show you my hand. He got me pretty good that day before yesterday. He had enough of that, and you got to brush them when they mat. They just mat terribly. So yeah. So I got a good groomer, and I think we have a good appointment there, pal. It's time. They also have a hard time cleaning their back end from litter boxes. It can be a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot there. Love cats. And if you want to do something fun, all of you cat lovers, if you have cats, look up magical cat colors, because every cat has its own special magic based on the color, like orange cats versus gray cats versus white cats, black cats. So it's really cool to see the magic. So just Google magical cat colors, and that's really neat to see what kind of magic your cat's bringing to the book of shadows and the altar. All right? Because they're all different. Calicos, which are always female. Tabbies. So many cool cats. I like those curly haired, those Rex cats. And I love the Scottish fold with the little tiny ears. Those are so cute. You see them on Facebook a lot. I don't know about a Sphinx cat. I always thought they look so interesting, and I love Siamese cats. But the Sphinx cat would be, I think they're prone to a lot of illnesses. So I'm shuffling cards. Anybody else? I'm just rambling while I'm shuffling cards. Anybody have anything you want to add before we start throwing cards here? I was going to do some fancy new spread for the moon, and I didn't think to do that. Anything else? Okay. Then we're going to start. And I'm going to ask you, because I'm brain dead, what did we start with last week? Oh. Chase is saying that her cat is nothing but pure company. He enjoys frankincense and sage burning, but he's just for company. Now, see, Orlando, the parrot, actually, when I'm making things at the table and I've got my cauldron out or I've got my mortar and pestle out, he'll actually put stuff in. He's very involved. Okay, we start with Aries, which means we're going to begin with Pisces this week. Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, here we go with Pisces. This lets everyone get a chance. If you want to check out early, go to bed, at least halfway through, everyone gets except I guess for Virgo and Libra. They're always here for the count. If there's anyone new, and then I know new people come in on YouTube and people come in and watch after, this is a 6-card spread. It's a short-term reading. It's not meant to be years and years out. It's more like the weeks ahead. It's a 6-card spread. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First card is the issue at hand. The next 2 cards are what are directly impacting the issue. And the last 3 cards are the potential outcomes. I'll tell you the cards I pulled, how I interpret them, and I encourage you to pull cards yourself if you're reading tarot or learning tarot, and to see how you interpret the cards, okay? So, Pisces, we start with the 9 of Wands reversed, the 8 of Wands, the Star reversed, the 6 of Cups reversed, Judgment reversed, and the 4 of Wands. So we're at the hop, wands, wands, wands. We're talking career, we're talking creativity, we're talking action, right? Creative action, I should say, let me be clear. It's a good reading, Patricia. I guess Teresa's developing quite a following in her short time at the shop, so she's doing well. All right, 9 of Wands reversed is ready to cross into new territory creatively, entrepreneurial, business opportunities. You're ready. You're not questioning. I know I need to do something new. I know I need to make the leap. Ready for that. 8 of Wands, again, validating. Eight of Wands is, and it's a really cool. I'm going to show you this in this deck, which is out of print. So I can show you. It's a woman I'm going to show you too over there on. But see, she's looking, and then she's got a calendar behind her, and that little model is her. It's actually a little metaphysical shop. I love this card. But she's counting down the days and times when she can open her own shop. So I'm going to show you guys too. Okay, see? Little shop there, and she's daydreaming, and there's the calendar behind her. Okay? And so she's making plans, creative plans, thinking of when she's going to be opening the shop up and what she's going to be doing. So again, this is all about new plans, new ideas, new business thoughts. The Star reversed, the fear of failure, the thought that can I really do this? And there's been there's been a lot of self-doubt in the readings. The Hangman reversed coming up, wasting time. Am I wasting my time? The Magician reversed. Can I really do this? Do I have what it takes? So this idea of could this really succeed? If I open this, would it really work? If I try something new, will it take off? And the thing is, in a recession, when times are not booming, you have thinner margins and you have less time for something to work. So I always say, like, every time I add a new product line to my store, I buy a minimal amount of it, enough to put on a shelf, enough to, but I try, because if it's not going to sell, I don't want to be stuck with a shelf full of stuff that isn't moving. I had a failed experiment a few years ago. I thought I would like to sell a line of hemp facial products and skincare items, high end and beautiful. And I love the person I worked with, loved the items, loved what she sold. But people don't want to buy spa items from a metaphysical store. They want to buy spa items from a spa, especially when it's at spa prices, which is what it cost. They were high-end goods. So that was something that thankfully I didn't make a huge investment. It was so significant. It's very rare you can bring in a product line for less than $1,000. That's about what you said then, between $700 and $1,000 when you bring in a new line. So, you're talking about money that you got to clearance it, or you have to clear it out, or whatever. That's how that goes. So this idea of the Star reversed is, will this work? Okay. The 6 of Cups reversed, Judgment reversed, 4 of Wands. What this speaks of to me is the stuff you do when you're starting a business, which is you don't travel. You don't go places. It's funny, Christian Day just put a post and talking about the fact that he has a lot of work launching some new computer stuff, trying to get some new computer things going on. He was planning a big vacation, probably have to work through half of it. And then he was like, I may not go at all because I have that much work to do. People never talk about the non-glamorous aspect of like everything goes back into the business, the things you don't get to do. But what I want to say when I see judgment reversed next to the Four of Wands, which is celebrating business success, I want to say bring in more people, get more creative input. If you're thinking of doing something new, launching something new, ask more people, get more opinions. There's something about the group think, and I'll tell you in my shop, it's not the Laura show. So I have fair every Saturday. It's why there's other readers around. So I have people to bounce stuff off of. China's there on Tuesday. You get tunnel vision. And that's what I think this reading is about, is tunnel vision, and the idea that no, and when you have tunnel vision, you get very black and white. And so I'm going to say for Pisces, it's about get the group together, ask around, maybe put out I've done this with my newsletter, I've done it a long time, but just like, what do you think? What would you like to see? What sort of classes would you want to see offered? What do you take polls, in other words, okay? But ask your friends, ask people what their opinions are, because I think your ideas are really good. And I think you're just being hard on yourself, okay? Aquarius. Patricia, I always say, if it wasn't for astral projection, I'd never go anywhere, okay? Although I had a reading last night with my friend Nadine, and she's in Grenada, and this is the second time now. She owns homes in Grenada, and she's invited me again. And she's like, just tell me you're coming. Tell me you're coming. I'll have a room ready for you. And I'll tell you, it's 4 hours. It's a 4-hour plane ride out of New York. And I am very tempted to go visit Grenada. It looks lovely, just beautiful. Anyway, okay, Aquarius, the Hangman, Temperance, the Queen of Cups, Death, the Nine of Cups reversed, and the Five of Cups. Now this is interesting, and I always talk about the fact when signs are conjunct, that is next to each other, that's what conjunct means, we see similarities in the reading. Now here I'm looking at, like Pisces, but different. And this is someone who's waiting, doing due diligence, doing everything right. Now, there is a chance this could actually mean a physical death. If there's a mother figure, there's a sense of Five of Cups is crying over spilt milk. It's Nine of Cups reversed, wishes not coming true next to the death card. I think that's what bothers me the most, is I know people who actually go to the doctor, take good care of themselves, and are still having these problems, these awful diagnoses. There's some of that here. But I want to say it's something that you waited for, you put your time in for, you've been patient for, and it's just not going to happen. I will also tell you that in the past month, I've had 2 men. I do read a lot of men. Statistically, it's probably 80-20, but in terms of men versus women, more women, obviously, but that are closing businesses. They're closing businesses. They can't, and these are businesses that they've had for a long time that they just can't anymore. Can't find workers. Can't in this economy. The cost. One was a contractor. The other was a landscaper. Can't get people to work. Paying starting pay at $22 an hour, going up to $33 an hour. Can't get anyone to work. All right. And the other is the same. And so these are, so I want to say it's like, despite doing everything right, despite running a good business and being ethical and being knowledgeable and putting in the time, this, for Aquarius, this just speaks to, it's just not meant to happen. It's not meant to happen. It's not going to work. It could be someone who, again, took care of themselves, and it would be a female figure, and this is just, it just doesn't matter. And that hangman is always, sacrificing for others, putting yourself last, um, in a good way. The hangman reversed is martyrdom. It is literally like not being appreciated. It's being a doormat. It's that's different. The hangman upright, and in this deck, it's actually Christ on the cross. Let me show it to you. It's actually, so the idea of selfless sacrifice for a higher good. It's not going to work. I'm going to throw one more card. The Knight of Coins. Now that doesn't mean you're going to go broke. And in both cases with these two men, they have one in particular has a wonderful offer to run someone else's company and make more money than ever. And the other two has other opportunities. They're not going to go without work or food or money. Okay, it's just a matter of this idea. This isn't going to work. It's not the right time, and we got to rethink it. All right. Now that does not mean that every Aquarius who has an idea is going to fail. It doesn't mean that. I always talk about the fact that it could be someone that you're related to, someone you're friends with, someone that you know who's back and forth about doing something. You might, this isn't the time. This isn't the time. I opened my shop during a recession. 07 opened, 08, 09. Those were terrible, terrible years. Managed to survive it. Now we're in a recession again. Be okay too. But okay. I wouldn't recommend anyone opening a business during a recession if they don't have to. Okay, Capricorn. Comments? No? Okay. Ace of Coins reversed. Ten of Swords. Ten of Wands reversed. The Sun reversed. The Ace of Cups reversed. The Seven of Swords reversed. Those suck. All right. No, they suck. Ace of Coins reversed is money not coming through. Okay. The Ten of Swords is really feeling defeated by your problems. The Ten of Wands reversed is the straw that broke the camel's back. The Sun reversed has to do with failure, sense of failure. Ace of Cups reversed, lack of love. And the Seven of Swords reversed, which actually is the only bright spot, which is ignoring people talking about you, ignoring gossip, ignoring whatever is going on, while you're dealing with this shit. I'm going through another card for clarity. Okay. The Page of Swords, that's new information coming in. It does have a hopeful feeling to it. I'll get one more card because this really is kind of grim. The King of Cups. Okay. So I'm seeing information. I love the King of Cups. I mean, that if it's a man, it's a spiritual, kind, good man. But it's also new information coming in. So it's coming in on a spiritual high note to pull you up out of this awful time. And it's also telling you, don't pay attention to whatever people saying around you. There's nothing worse, and I don't know what it is when there's problems and someone, it's like, well, I don't need an audience. I don't need people, just let me deal with what I gotta deal with. Sometimes you gotta kind of go into solitude mode because you gotta deal with these things, and people talking in your ear is just not helping. I would say for Capricorn, while you're dealing with this sense of, well, that isn't working, or this isn't good. There's good stuff coming in. There's going to be, and don't just ignore the people around you, whether it's toxic family members or coworkers or friends or whomever. Ignore them because there is something positive is coming in from an outside source, and it seems it'll shift this. It'll shift the energy, but right now the energy is not great. Okay? So, no, it's not great. I'm going to throw one more card for Capricorn. The moon reversed. Okay, the moon reversed for me is always, again, new information revealed. Something you hadn't considered before. So as bad as it seems, just wait because there's more information coming in. And it would be like if you were getting blamed for something that you know you didn't do, but all fingers were still pointing at you and people were setting you up to fail. But there's someone who saw or has a tape or has information or record. It's like, oh, but guess what? No, didn't do it. Okay. And comes in to kind of save the day, right? Yeah, Leslie's saying sounds. I'm sorry. Okay, so just wait. It's going to get better, Capricorn. It's like getting framed. That's what I want to say. All right, Sagittarius, the Lovers, the Ace of Wands, the Six of Coins reversed, the Five of Coins reversed, the Three of Coins reversed, and the Hermit. Good God, man. What the hell's in the water tonight? Well, the Lovers, next to the Ace of Wands, to me, always speaks to a hobby or an interest or an activity that is a labor of love. Okay? That's the high note. Okay? Labor of love. So, and that would keep our optimistic or Sagittarians rolling. However, the Six of Coins reversed reminds us there are bills to pay. The Five of Coins reversed is nice because it's coming up out of a difficult time financially, so you can pay those bills, I guess, you know? Three of Coins reversed. I mean, there's no celebration here. It's like, it really isn't. And the Hermit has you dealing with it on your own. I think that might be a little bit of a theme here, this idea of, on your own. I'm going to throw one more card, the Devil. One more card. Hit me. Eight of Swords reversed. An end of anxiety, but dealing with remnants, dealing with toxic, dealing with bad habits, could also be bad thought patterns, I mean, a lot of us have got, like by starting with Pisces, you've got to rewire the way you think about stuff. When you think it's a failure or you're busy, well, it's like, for me, it's like the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles with the juggler with the money. But I always look at it like, well, it means at least you have got money to juggle, Like there's not anything with the Five of Pentacles. There's nothing good to say about that. It's bankruptcy. There's no money. In this case, it's reversed. The Five of Coins, it's reversed. There'll be enough money to pay the bills. There'll be enough money. Do what you got to do. But you still got to do it. You still got to deal with it. But there is an aspect of this as a labor of love, and there's also an aspect of this at the end of anxiety. Okay? Like it's, oh my God. Holy mo. I'm just looking at comments. I'm sorry. All right. All right. Let's move on. Sagittarius. All right, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. The Nine of Swords reversed. The King of Wands reversed. The Page of Wands reversed. The Ace of Swords. The Two of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. So this is like Sagittarius flipped around. We're looking at, the Nine of Swords reversed is the end of anxiety. Okay? The end of anxiety. King of Wands reversed. Workaholic. Page of Wands reversed. Again, all focus on work, effort, energy, everything directed, career. What I like about this is the Ace of Swords, which is fresh energy, the Two of Cups. You're not in this alone. That's the nice thing. Unlike Capricorn, unlike other signs, they're feeling very, I got to handle this on my own, Sagittarius. I think for Scorpio, despite the very hard work, there's a sense of positivity. You're moving it forward. Two of Cups, friendship. Excuse me. Support through the relationship, and the Wheel of Fortune's good luck. So, despite a lot of hard work, and probably hyper focus on work, I think there's also energy that there's leftover energy for relationship and recreation. I'm gonna put that for the Wheel of Fortune. Recreation. Good luck. It's a good card. All right. I like that. You work hard, play hard. That's exactly how I would work hard, play hard. That's how I would define that reading. Okay. Yep. I'm looking at, okay, people are commenting to each other. Alrighty. Libra. Okay, Libra. King of Swords reversed. Oh, Jesus. Page of Cups. Two of Coins reversed. Strength, the World, the Hierophant. Okay, the King of Swords reversed. I can't stand that card. It is one of two things. It is usually a bully. It is the narcissist. It's my way or no way. The King of Swords reversed. Now, the other thing that the King of Swords can be, although I don't see it here, okay, in this spread, it can be a man. Swords are air. Air is thought. It's reversed. So it's someone who isn't thinking properly. I look at it as being a card that speaks to dementia. The King and Queen of Swords reversed can also be someone who's male or female struggling with dementia. But that's not how I read it in this instance. It does look like someone who is taking a very hard bullying line next to the Page of Cups. Could be with a young person. It could also be someone, you have to play by the rules. Although the young person seems very soft-spoken, shy, it feels a little harsh to me, okay? The Two of Cups, the Two of Coins reversed usually means the end of money juggling. Strength is good health and obviously energy. The World is a wonderful card of again, a new way of life, new way of doing things. And the Hierophant speaks to business and institutional thinking. So I'm wondering if just maybe these cards speak to discipline. Reminds me of a parent telling a kid, you said you wanted to take piano lessons, and guess what? You're going to finish the piano lessons for the year, or taekwondo, or you name it. You wanted to take lessons, you wanted to study guitar, or you're going to finish. You said you would do this. You said you want to play soccer. You're going to play for the season. You're not quitting halfway through. So in that respect, it sounds like it's very dictatorial, but it's actually discipline. And maybe it's harsh. I don't know. To me, I told my kids, you can do this, but you finish it. You don't get to quit halfway through. I'm not spending money and buying equipment for you to quit halfway through. So there's that. If this was in case of a business, it could be telling employees, assuming that they're younger people or less experienced, that Page of Cups, we're doing things different now. We have to make money. We're going to have to enforce certain rules. We're going to do things different. That Two of Coins reverse is turning a money situation around for the positive. Okay, strength, the World, the Hierophant. This is for the betterment of something. And sometimes you got to come through. You do have to be, I'm the boss, and this is how we're doing things. You can't do it this way, then this isn't the place for you. Okay, so there's that aspect of it too. It does have a very work feeling to it, but the Hierophant is always about, we're going to do it the right way. It's institutional thinking. It's you eat your dinner, then you get dessert. I almost said divorce. You eat dinner, then you get divorced. You have to serve divorce papers until after you have dinner. But there's a right and a wrong way to do everything, right? This is how we're going to run the business. This is how we're running our house. This is what we're going to do. Yep, I'll pay for this, but you don't get to quit. So I'm going to be a dead horse here soon, but you're getting what I'm saying, right? Okay, Libra. All right, Virgo. See if any new comments here. No. Libra's air, and the King of Swords is an air sign, but reversed has that dictatorial, that it has to be done my way kind of an energy. But when you're the boss, you're running a company, that's how it has to be. You really can't run a business by committee. Actually, you can't run anything by committee, I assure you. Someone has to step in and say, this is how it's going to get done. Okay? My opinion, but there you go. Virgo, the Emperor. The Seven of Coins reversed. Justice. The Tower reversed. The Ten of Cups reversed. And the Three of Cups. Okay. Well, I want to say if ever there was a card that spoke to we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, that's what I'm seeing here. The Emperor, the Seven of Coins reversed, and Justice for me speaks to signing new contracts. I know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to make money. The Emperor is, to me, all about business, okay? All about business. So I love that. The Tower reversed and the Ten of Cups reversed. It's pulling the plug. And I want to say it's pulling the plug on where you live. Ten of Cups, I don't like it here. I'm emotionally happy here. Not about being able to afford it, it's just I don't like it. And the Tower reverse is saying, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not living like this anymore. And I love the Three of Cups because there's again, we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. There are things I do love, but I don't love doing it here. This isn't the way we're going to do things. We'll throw one more card. Page of Coins reversed. I think there's an opportunity to make more money in another place. I think you've got a new business idea. I think you've got some new ideas for making money. I think you've got some fresh energy going on here, and it does mean pulling the plug on something. It means okay, can't be in two places. Can't do that. And this really speaks to following your heart. But I like it. I like it, Virgo. This is instinctive. This is not logic based, but there is a common sense element. Okay, but this is also intuitive. This is I'm not happy, and this would make me happy, and money. Okay, which is Virgo is an earth sign. Let's face it, earth signs are not happy broke. I've never met an earth sign yet that enjoyed that experience of being broke. So, all right, Leo. How are we doing here? Thank you, Tara. All right, so Leo, we have the Queen of Swords reversed. Ugh. The Six of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Five of Swords reversed, the Nine of Coins reversed, and the Six of Swords. Okay. Well, this speaks to, I can't stand the Queen of Swords reversed much more than I can stand the King of Swords reversed, because now we got a manipulative, difficult, vindictive female, and it could be a woman with Alzheimer's, but I don't think so. Daisy, turn that down, please. Queen of Swords reversed. Six of Wands, Knight of Swords. I think it's someone at work, Leo. I think there's someone at work who's really difficult, and yeah. Five of Swords reversed is getting outside help, going to HR, going to see a therapist. going to get, whatever, whoever and whatever, going to get help on this issue. And I want to say with Leo, this is interesting, but Leo is not going to be dictated to, and would rather lose money. Six of Swords is relocation, movement. I'm not going to deal with this. If I have to answer this person, I'll leave. Okay? Yeah, I will take a transfer. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot, but I'll take less money, or I'll do something, but I'm not going to answer to this person. This is just not going to happen. And I want to say the opportunity to transfer is here. You don't have to deal with this person. There was a great story with my sister-in-law Kim. She was working in a hospital setting. I'm not gonna say where. And there was a head nurse, and she was just brutal. She was simply brutal. She had a select group of her favorites, but she was an awful supervisor, and she was mean-spirited, and she bullied, and it was like her little fiefdom, and she was really miserable. And it was exactly, she left. My sister-in-law left. She's like, I'm not living like this. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not gonna be talked to like this. And before she left, she had quite a bit to say to the HR, who was like, well, that's nice, but you're the only one saying it. You're the only one calling her. Everyone else seems to have no trouble. And she's like, okay, I hear you. That's fine. It's me. Bye. And left. And then one by one, after people saw her, and she told her exactly, I'm leaving. I'm not listening to you. I'm not dealing with you. You're a terrible person. And she made a point of saying it to her in front of some of her little crowd and these other people who are watching. And one by one, in the week or two to follow, they single filed into HR and they told their stories. And she was asked to leave. She actually lost her job because more than half of the people, except for her little inner circle, said, and so that's what I'm saying, like with Leo, it's like, you may have to be the one to say, okay, I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with you. But again, that idea of going to HR, that idea of but I'll take you down too. And that wasn't even my sister-in-law's wasn't trying to do that. But once people saw her leave and stand up and said, you know what? No. And they all went to HR and they all told their stories. The shooting was awful. All right. I gotta tell you, I don't know any Leo. I'm Leo rising, but they demand respect. It's you're not going to disrespect a Leo and expect them to sit and take it. It's not going to happen. Not for very long. Okay. All right, Cancer. Three of Swords. Eight of Cups. Chariot reversed. Eight of Coins reversed. The Fool reversed. Seven of Wands reversed. Wow. Wow. Those are dismal cards. And of course, the Three of Swords is heartbreak. Eight of Cups is leaving. Chariot reverse, not moving forward. Eight of Coins reverse, unmotivated. The Dreamer reverse, not moving forward. I'm giving the brief. Seven of Wands reverse. I always look at it as dropping out of school, not happy with your studies. Sometimes it's changing the major. I'm going to hope in this case it's changing the major. I'm going to hope in this case it's looking at this unmotivated, going into school and saying this is not what I want to be doing. Either leaving school to take up a different trade. It's really funny because my son is in his first year. He just finished his first semester, and how many young people we know who are actually leaving. They start off school out of state. They're coming back into Connecticut, and a couple are going into community college. A couple are going into state schools, and it's not just about the money. It's about proximity. They weren't ready. They weren't ready for it. It was too much, too overwhelming, and I mean, there's a lot of them, a lot. And in my readings, because this whole month, all the kids are home from school, I've read a lot of college kids. So that's what this speaks to, this idea this isn't working, I'm not happy, this isn't, I don't want to move forward in this direction. And that is what the first year of school is for. You have 2 years to pick a major, but it's more than just the major. That's part of it. It's I don't want to do this. Could it be dropping out of school? It could be dropping out of school, but also could be dropping out of that particular school. You know what I'm saying? Um, Obviously, not every cancer is in college or as a college age student, but then it would also be about changing your career. Um, I went to school for something different. This isn't what I went to. I didn't go to school to do this job. I didn't go through 4 years of school or 6 years of school to graduate and go in and I'm doing this. This is not what I wanted to do. I'm making the money I wanted to make. I no. This is cancer making big decisions, big changes. Now, any cancer that's sitting there going, God, I love my job. I'm happy in my job. Okay, think for a moment. Is there anyone in your family, anyone you're close to, who's telling you, oh yeah, my kid is miserable. Yeah, they're coming home. They can't. It's just validating. Okay. But yeah, a lot of people are like, I didn't sign on for this yet. This is not what I was hired to do, or what I was trained to do, or what I went to school to do. This is not what I just, no. No, it's one thing to do it temporarily, but no, I'm not doing this permanently. And in some cases, it's not safe. They could have you doing a job where you're not trained or qualified. It could be very unsafe. All right, Gemini, Four of Cups reversed, Seven of Cups, Queen of Coins reversed, Four of Swords reversed, Three of Wands, Two of Swords. All right. Well, this is Gemini saying, I know what I want. Okay, I know what I want. Emotionally, I know what I want. Potentially, the money to move forward in that direction isn't there, or there's a spouse or a partner that's saying, I don't want that. I don't want to invest in that direction. I don't want to put money in that direction. The Four of Swords it speaks to hard work and not being able to rest. The Three of Wands is schooling, educating, again, and then we have the Two of Swords, rock in a hard place. Oh, this reminds me of a couple in business together, and one wanting to move it in one direction, and one wanting to move it to another. It could be. It definitely feels like joint effort. Like two people who have different ideas of. It's an unrestful situation. And it really does speak to one person saying, I don't want the money spent that way, or we have to watch the money. One more card. Knight of Wands reversed. It's not going to move forward until you're both on the same page, Gemini. It's not going to move forward until you both, and that's respectful. What are you going to do? Sneak and lie and steal the money out of the savings account? I don't think so. There is a sense of like we have to make a decision soon, but we don't have all the time in the world to do this. It's like somebody wants to jump on opportunity, and someone's saying, "I don't want to invest right now. I don't want to buy that business right now. I don't want to move the money into that right now." Um, and I'm going to say who's ever putting the who's ever nixing it and saying we're going to wait and stall and again with that Three of Swords, you just got to learn more about what you want to do. Make sure you're presenting it correctly. There's something you're missing here. How you're selling it to your partner. Um, and you might be challenged to say, listen, I don't think you've got all the facts here. You know, Let me go check and make sure. Let me go see what I need to find out. Nothing awful. It just feels like there's a push me, pull me, and someone's saying, I'm not going to do that right now. That doesn't make sense. This isn't the time for that. It could just be the recession. You know, this isn't the time to open a business. This isn't the time to invest that money in that place. Taurus. Okay, Taurus. We have the Four of Coins reversed, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Cups reversed, the Magician reversed, the Ten of Coins, and the High Priestess. All right. Well, we start with the Four of Coins reversed, which is saying, I know how I want to make money. I know what I need to do to make money. I got it in my head. I know what I need to do. The Two of Wands speaks to that opportunity that lands in your lap. That sort of, hey, are you looking because we're hiring? Or, hey, I'm starting something new. I'd love you on my team. So it's just basically just lining itself up, you would think, right? The Knight of Cups reverse. There's something about partnering with that person. I don't think the person that you want to partner with either knows what they're talking about or has all the necessary skills to do something. It's interesting because someone I read had come to me months ago and said, I had a business opportunity, someone I know, we're not super close, but she wants to do this together as a partnership, and this is her idea. And I'm like, two things I'm seeing here. One is that she's going to want to run the show, take over, and you're going to be a 50% partner. And secondly, don't trust her. I don't think she's telling you the whole story. It feels like something's missing. Well, I'm not going to argue. I'm just telling you this is what I'm seeing. Well, lo and behold, didn't move on it, and then come to find out that person had no money to invest. Had no money, was hoping that all the money was going to come from this one. And honestly, didn't have the resources she said she did. So that's what I'm seeing. This idea this person doesn't have what it takes. They want a partner. That's great. Talked about that some weeks ago. Remember I told you people coming in want to collaborate? And it's like, yeah, you can sell my stuff in your store. That's not collaboration. That's me doing you a favor, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Taurus, I'm looking at the Ten of Coins, and I'm looking at the High Priestess. This is something you can do in-house. This is something you can do yourself. This is something that I don't think you need partnership for it. Or it's somebody it's actually a member of the family, all right? But there's no reason to bring anybody from the outside in. There's no reason to bring anyone from the outside into it. You have everything you need under your own roof, and there's no reason to think that you have to look for funding or support or anything else elsewhere. All right. And lastly, we have Aries. Because I threw so many cards, I have to shuffle really quick for the last two. How are we doing, guys? Everything okay? Everyone's getting real quiet on me here. Haven't had any comments since Virgo. That's the thing about readings, though, like with that last one I talked about, is sometimes you don't hear the truth. That was 4 months later from the readings on the idea of going into this business arrangement with this person. And it wasn't until 4 months later that it all came out, where, actually the person was going through a divorce and they had been really quiet about it, but had no money to partner. So if you're going to flip houses with somebody, then someone's going to have money and someone's going to have skills. You're going to be flipping houses. Someone better know how to do some building, some carpentry, some plumbing, electrical work. Flipping houses only makes money when the what do we call it? Not the elbow grease, but the sweat equity has to come from the people who are in business together. So one person can be the money person, but then one person needs to be the worker person. But if you're there to go in business together, but you don't have skills or money, that's not a business partnership. That's not. Okay? You pay for talent, but yeah. All right. Aries, here we go. All right. So we start off with the Queen of Wands reversed, female workaholic, working hard. The Five of Wands reversed, tired of arguing, tired of discussing, we're not talking about it anymore. King of Coins, I love that card for money coming in. Usually a good business opportunity or solid financial decisions. We have the Empress reversed, the Two of Wands, and the Hierophant reversed. And again, here I'm going to caution about partnership because I'm looking at this idea, Two of Wands, hey, let's do something together. Hey, I've got an idea. Hey, I'm starting a business. But what is it sandwiched with? It's sandwiched between the Empress reversed and the Hierophant reversed. And it doesn't sound to me like it's a very sound idea, you know? My God, I know I have an Aries friend who just invested so much of her time, sweat equity, and effort, and literally blood on a project, and it wasn't her project. You know, it wasn't her business. And at the end of the day, man, family is in, and this reeks of that. This is someone hardworking. The energy is there. The ability to make money is there. Okay. But the idea of I'm tired, I'm not just tired of the same old thing over and over again. That is the Five of Wands reversed. The Five of Wands upright is the same argument over and over and over, the same debate, the same discussion. And reverse is like, I'm dying, I'm done. I'm not having this talk one more time. I can make money on my own. I don't need this. You know, the Empress reversed. Again, not feeling good about it. And someone not, you know, the Two of Wands, there's the opportunity. Hey, it's opportunity. Well, just because it's an opportunity doesn't mean it's a good opportunity. And the Hierophant reversed is unconventional behavior, but it also can be bad business sense. You know, it also can be someone who is got a way of thinking that isn't in keeping with like what's going on today. You know, trying to do something that would have worked, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Even like in terms of publicity and how you advertising. You don't do print ads, it's all social media. So if you're going to open a business that's going to have an audience or have patrons or people coming in, then you have to be able to reach those people, and that's social media. If you aren't on social media, then you better find someone who is. And this cards are suggesting, they don't have that. They don't have that. This just looks like this requires Aries to give some really careful thinking because you can make money, Aries, and I'm looking at you doing it without putting with bullshit. King of Coins, you have good ideas, but if you team with the wrong person, and I'm being a dead horse again, it's not going to end well. It's never going to end well. I'm a big one for contracts and things in writing. You want me, let's see it in writing. What you're going to pay me, what my hours are going to be. Let me just see something, when I start, when I stop, that kind of thing. And I know new businesses and new ideas and new partnerships have to have a lot of leeway, but not to the point that it's unstructured and unsound, right? All right. Anyways, guys, that's what's going on. That's what I'm seeing. I've said this all the time. If you're going to go into business with somebody, do a background check on them. Do a background check. Peoplefinder.com. Make sure that they're solvent. Make sure there's no felonies. Make sure that they are who they say they are. Before someone asks you to invest money, do due diligence, okay? Make sure this is somebody that you've got to be so careful. All right, make sure that the business that they're proposing has in fact been properly set up in the state that it is. Make sure that it's truly a legitimate business. Because there's a lot of people out there, hanging out shingles that don't have business licenses. You know, a lot of the fly by night card readers and metaphysical shops. They basically just take readings, and then 4 or 5 months they close up and they disappear after they've fleeced a few dozen people and have worn out their welcome. They're just gone. Okay. Um, let's see. We have a comment here. Exactly, my cousin Leslie and I were just talking about the change in how to make money. You can make money with crazy, stupid videos. Yeah, you can. And Janice, thank you too. You can, but even the internet, what's that word? The influencer, and that's going away though, and people don't have the same patience, and it's starting to lose its luster. Okay, let's just say that. Um, yeah. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate you, and try to get some rest. Really think about the people you're teaming with and the people that you're investing your time with, and move accordingly. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Behave.